Hello, Internet. I'm Alex.
I am Jordan.
And this is our first episode of, what did we call this?
I don't remember. Cryptic Libraries?
Cryptic Archives.
Cryptic Archives.
And if you haven't seen our Cryptic Librarian series, check out our shorts on our channel. So this is going to be our first attempt at a Cryptic Archival episode, which is where I tell Jordan about lore in Magic the Gathering. While Jordan has played the game significantly longer than I have, apparently I read the cards significantly more than he did.
It took like a 20-year gap.
So we're going to go over some of the lore, and we're going to start today with the Myr. The Myr are a creature type in Magic the Gathering. They are all artifacts, artifact creatures, and there are 43 official Myr in the cards, but there is a 44th, which is Brutaclad.
Brutaclad?
I will post
images somewhere.
Ta-da! Here, but it's going to be on the on the computer for Jordan, so that he can see them as well.
Couldn't afford more than one screen.
I could not afford more than one screen. So there's Brutaclad. So he technically is a Phyrexian artificer, but he's a Myr. That's definitely what that is.
I mean, the artwork looks like that. I guess if the lore supports it, but it's missing that key point where it says Myr.
Yeah, he also makes Myrs.
But it is he himself, or they themselves
the
are missing that.
The lore does state that they are a Myr.
WotC should errata that.
Errata that to also, because they did errata it to have Phyrexian in its name, so they probably should errata it to include Myr. They did not. So, to be clear, there are 44 of them. The history of the Myr starts with way back in the history of Magic, which we don't have time to cover, but suffice it to say, the Phyrexians were a thing. They are a race of robot-happy people. They really like this oil that if they drip it on you, you also become a cult-crazed mechanical Lovecraftian horror.
So oil makes me happy is what I'm hearing.
Oil makes you happy. It also makes you metallic.
I'm hearing wins.
Yeah.
W's everywhere.
W's in chat. Phyrexia tried a bunch of different times to Phyrexianize the multiverse. Failed spectacularly multiple times. They have gone through several changes in their history. At one point, they were like sleeper agents, where they would sort of go out and they would be very fleshy, and it would all be in your mind.
Okay.
And then there was a period of time where they were trapped in time bubbles, where they like super elevated their technological advancement by leaps and bounds, and occasionally somebody would walk over and drop a nuke on them.
Oh, nice.
Which eventually they just got so intelligent and power hungry that they just ate nuclear bombs, which obviously was real bad for the rest of us. But was, as you say, W's in chat for the Phyrexians. Yeah, they had a real great time. Eventually, they were utterly defeated, except for a few drops of oil that managed to survive on Karn, a planeswalker you may be familiar with. Karn, this is in the era where planeswalkers were omni-powerful. And Karn decided that he was going to go off by himself and build an entire plane of existence to himself.
As one does.
As one does. While he was there, though, there was essentially nothing on the plane. So while he created a perfect metallic plane of existence, he didn't run into the problem of being incredibly lonely. So he decided that he was going to go off into the multiverse and continue exploring after having created paradise for himself. As you do.
Why would you do that?
I don't... Listen, man, he was real bored.
Is he a flat earther?
No, well, I don't actually know if the lore states whether or not his created plane was round or flat.
So I was just wondering. You said planes, so
it's
a question.
Thankfully, I can answer that in the newest set of Magic the Gathering that is coming out. Edge of Eternities is definitely spheres. I believe the entire set is spoiled at this point in time, and there are no disc worlds. So I think we got a
opportunity.
I do feel that this was an opportunity for
Some
this was a Universes Beyond opportunity to bring Terry Pratchett's Discworld into the series for sure.
Yeah.
But we do not have a world turtle with 4 elephants on its back carrying the disc. Good
Future content, Wadsey.
Please
crossover.
Would love to. There are so many good moments in those books. Truly excellent. But when Karn left his plane, he knew that there were enough dangers in the multiverse that he should not leave it unprotected. So he left Memnarch. He created this entity using the Mirari. The Mirari was a powerful wish-granting device that had been around during the war with Phyrexia. And the Mirari in and of itself deserves its own lore video. There are several on YouTube. We probably won't because other people have done it better. But he used it to make Memnarch's brain, essentially.
Okay.
And in the process of making Memnarch, that Phyrexian oil that was left over got drizzled all over Memnarch, and that was probably a mistake. Once Memnarch was left to his own devices, and Karn went off to explore the multiverse again, Memnarch, being powered by a wish-granting machine and being hyper-intelligent and having this weird itch in the back of his eyeballs, which may or may not have been lubrication from Phyrexian oil, got bored.
Yep.
As one does. And proceeded to essentially populate the plane because he knew that his father, Karn, had been a planeswalker, and he didn't know how common they were or rare. And so he created a machine to grab mortals from across the plains and bring them to Phyrexia. Or, sorry, not Phyrexia. To what would later become New Phyrexia.
Right.
And as he was grabbing them, he grabbed humans and Leonin and goblins and other races, and he brought them to his world and decided that he couldn't observe them directly, so he created the Mirror, were his creations, to watch over the people. And on the Mirror Moon vessel, you're on screen, the flavor text reads that Memnarch created the Mirror with 3 qualities in mind: dependability, controllability, and disposability. So
sad.
Yeah, that pretty much sums up
serves a purpose.
They are served with a purpose. Once we get a little bit further on in their creation, you have other races that get their hands on the Mirror, because the Mirror aren't very intelligent. They're an automaton that I say, you go over there and spy on them, and it goes and does that. But you know, if it's think early days of robotics where I tell the robot to walk in this pattern, but if it runs into a block in the middle of the ground, then it's like, I don't know what to do, and I'm just going to walk in this block.
Yeah.
And so they mortals grabbed hold of them and did things to them. So on the Silver Mirror, the Vidalcan saw the Mirror as toys, unaware of the intelligence lurking behind their empty eyes. So you watch as the mortal races kind of take them apart and learn how they work and
put them back together in a different configuration.
Not that one. Less that one. It's more we're just going to take these things apart. And I mean, the Krark clan enjoys pulling them apart just to watch them reassemble one another, which is the Mirror Servitor flavor text. So the Krark clan are the goblins, so they literally just rip apart these semi-sentient creatures and just watch them desperately try to put themselves back together again.
What if they bet on it?
They're goblins, so probably, and it was with teeth, most likely. That would be my bet.
Goblins aren't orcs. Just saying.
Goblins are not orcs. They are adjacent, though, surely.
I don't know.
Let's
not offend any goblins or orcs in chat.
Sure. You're all goblins and orcs in my book. So the Mirror end up helping Memnarch to essentially police the the plane, where they become his eyes and ears everywhere. They're not very good at policing the plane themselves, but they do spread out and figure out information. Memnarch eventually totally changes over to Phyrexia, and in that, the Mir become they're very convertible to Phyrexian, as they're already robots.
Adaptability was one of their key.
Indeed. So you got it in one. Yeah, they were basically designed for this purpose. And they become truly horrifying weapons in Memnarch's toolkit as he turns the plane to Phyrexia. And while the plane turning into New Phyrexia does present some very interesting storylines, they're kind of outside of the scope of this particular story. There are some very important things to identify about the Mir, which is a little lacking in their card design. One of the things that is true and is used in their card design is the fact that Mir working together can overcome massive odds. So
Mir
Battlesphere, absolutely. You also have the Lodestone Mir, which you can tap untapped artifacts and all of your mirror artifacts to give it +1/+1. So very similar mechanic, where when they work together, they empower each other. So very teamwork-based concept. But the thing, and using mirror, the Lodestone Mirror as a prime example, it has flavor text on it that is canon, and I feel is missing in a lot of areas, which is that when necessary, Mir can override and control any artificial object. Any. Full stop. End of sentence. So that's a thing. We don't see them with like mind control effects for artifact creatures or taking control of artifacts, but I would like to see
opportunity.
I would love to see that piece of flavor text expanded upon. It is also in the lore as well, as they when Memnarch is eventually defeated, Phyrexia itself is not defeated on the plane, and it does lead to the 5 Praetors of mana. So it becoming true New Phyrexia. But in that is the story that the Mir currently share of their creation, as they have sort of led themselves into a more sentient existence, where they now they have tales and stories that they tell about themselves. So there is a story where the last of the Mir makes it to an altar of creation, where the first Mir were created by Memnarch, and it needs more of its own kind to continue its work. So it creates a perfect copy of itself, because it can't go on, and it isn't intelligent enough to figure out what else to do. So it just makes another one of itself. And the two try to leave at the same time, and the door isn't big enough for two to leave.
Both to get through at the same time.
So they get into a fight with each other, and one of them is destroyed, and a third shows up, and it is unclear which Mir eventually comes out or comes up with this idea. Whether or not it is the original Mir, or if it was the created one, or if it was this third one. But one of them comes up with the idea that we shouldn't make perfect copies of ourselves. We should make pseudo copies, where you're really good at this thing and I'm really good at that thing. And instead of being sort of okay at everything, we're now specialized. And that the Mir apparently like to argue about which one of the three is actually the one who came up with the idea.
Okay.
And their differences of opinion is apparently what draws them together. Their ability to have a debate is what makes them a Mir.
Is there like a Mir triad then?
I wish.
Mir Trinity?
That might be a fun card. WotC, get on that. Mir. I mean, we've already got Battlesphere, so let's get Trisphere.
Yep.
Okay. Any other things I want to add? After the Mir go through this era of change, you do get Mir Superion has the line of text: the two kinds of Mir survive, the powerful and those that stay close to them. So while they do end up specializing, because they're specializing, they're not good at everything anymore, or okay at everything, I suppose. And thus they find themselves weakened in states. So they end up following these like larger constructs, like the Lodestone Mirror, the Battle Sphere. Although the Battle Sphere, I guess, is just a million little ones.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's Battle Sphere.
And there's the Battle Sphere. And then there's two named Mir before, as we stated, Brutaclad is one. You can get in the comments and argue with me. Please argue with me about whether or not you think Brutaclad is a Mir or not. I would definitely encourage back and forth. I am always there on the comments, there to respond. And we have Urtet, which was definitely, this is both Mir make Mir or care about Mir, which is very good on their lore. It's very
in keeping with what they do.
Yeah, definitely 5 out of 5 for Mir. Let's go 5 out of 5 mana pips. That's gonna be my rating. That's gonna be my rating. So we got 5 out of 5 mana pips for lore for sure. Urtet was definitely is a combo commander, which is really good in keeping as well with the creature type.
Yes.
Because the creature type also has several ways of going infinite within its 40-ish cards. So they have several mana creators. I'll put the combo up here. Basically, it includes a Mir that taps to untap your other Mirs. And so if you have 2 of those in play and another Mir that makes mana, you can just infinitely
do it over and over again.
Over and over again. Yeah. Exactly. So Urtet was
makes sense.
Urtet was a perfect commander for this tribe. It gave all 5 pips so that you could have all of the Mir. Not that there were many Mirs that had colors, but when New Phyrexia came out, there was one 2-mana 1/1 Mir that tapped for a color of mana for each of the different colors. And so they would have been left out had Urtet not been 5 colors. So Urtet was perfect. No notes, flawless victory. Mwah. Great. So that's the Mir. What did you think of the Mir?
4 to 5 pips.
4 out of 5 pips.
They're very basic.
They're basic. Fair enough.
Just populate. Like, what are you going to do with that?
Fair enough.
You just spread out, have multiple clones. Don't know who's in charge. Dad went.
Yeah, Dad kind of.
Did Dad come back? We'll get to that later.
Did Granddad did eventually come back? But
what did he feel about his children? His grandchildren?
Yeah, I mean, again, definitely outside of the scope of the Mir specifically. But Memnarch definitely prescribed a lot of his desires and interests on his grandfather, which was Urza, who is huge in Magic lore.
Yes, very important.
95% of the problems that exist in Magic the Gathering are Urza's fault, and normally because he's an ass.
Is Urza the Zeus of Magic? In terms of problems, not what other way we might be thinking about it. Are people aware of Greek mythology?
There is also a world that's inspired from Greek mythology, and there is a Zeus.
Oh, Theros, right?
Yeah, Theros. Yes. So I think Heliod is supposed to be his counterpart, even though Heliod is the god of the sun, and there is a lightning god, but
they're not the same.
They're not the same. I would put Heliod as the like Zeus equivalent here.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think you've got it in one. Yeah, most like if you go through the lore of Greek mythology, he's like almost all of the problems are his fault. Urza's definitely
same thing for Urza.
It's same thing for Urza. Yeah. So Memnarch definitely prescribed a lot of the things that he wanted to do because he wanted to be more like Granddad. For the Mir, they didn't really think in terms of like dad, granddad, great granddad. They did prescribe like they had a master. And throughout history of their species, they constantly have different masters. But when Memnarch was gone, there's sort of a period where they don't have a master, which is when they start like separating and becoming their own individual identities. And then the
colored tribes
exist. But that's sort of when the Phyrexian Praetors start coming up. You might know some of them: Shieldred, Vorinclex, Elesh Norn, yeah.
Or the blue guy.
Blue guy is
Zor or something?
No, nope. It's Jin-Gitaxias is our blue praetor. And then our red Praetor,
Urbrask?
Urbrask.
Urbrask, yes.
Urbrask is really fun. I'd love to do a deep dive on Urbrask. There are still a lot of living people on this plane as it like becomes more and more Phyrexian, while no one is overseeing it. And we get my favorite lore line in all of Magic the Gathering from that moment in time, when Elesh Norn's soldiers back the remaining survivors into a dead-end canyon, and some guy in the lineup goes up to a commander and goes, "Yes, my lord, overwhelmingly, my lord." and then
card here.
Yeah, card here. And I think it says the last line of the Mirran defense or something. Like, it's very definitive. Despite that card stating definitively that this is the end of the war, it's not. As the
it is for them.
I suppose it is. The Phyrexians definitely take over the plane at this point. Urbrask does this lovely thing where he goes, "Hey, all of you people, you should come with me and hide." And he takes them into his realm and hides them away from Elesh Norn.
And his realm is on the plane of New
Yes,
Phyrexia?
so the realm gets broken up into...
I know we're digressing far.
Very much
Mirror,
so.
But...
Well, we'll get back to them in sort of a manner. The plane is broken up into 4 sort of not locations, but the Praetors end up breaking the plane's control. Original lore saw original Phyrexia as a mono black plane as being weak because it couldn't overtake the other colors. And so they broke control between these 5 Praetors because all of a sudden, well, now we can control white and blue and red and green, not just black.
Gotcha.
And black was no longer controlled by a single entity. It's now controlled by a bunch of Seneschals who like shared power. So Elesh Norn actually, although is considered a Praetor, she's one of many, and she wasn't even the most powerful for a time. She was a second or third in control.
She was the one who was left.
She eventually was politically savvy enough to undermine her competitors and basically control and backstab the others.
Gotcha.
Urbrask took over the Forge, which was the Phyrexia's creation, where they created their war machines, basically. And it's why he is different than the other Praetors, because where the other Praetors like are very straight and narrow on their like take over everything thing, and like Phyrexia best Phyrexia, Urbrask was trying to create and innovate.
Change.
Yeah, and so he saw the Mirrodins as like being something that could think, and he could study them, and he could study them real great if he brought them into the Forge.
Gotcha.
And so he like hid them away from Elesh Norn and the others. And in that creation of the multiple sections of the plane and the control, you see the mirror sort of devolve into these like different regions and take on more aspects of their specific Praetor.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So Memnarch had true intelligence, or it was not till later?
The intelligence is birthed later when he's gone, when they are forced to create themselves. And so, and their intelligence truly isn't, which
is why they need Praetors and Seneschals to guide them down their path.
Again, as you say, 4 out of 5 stars for you.
Yes.
I definitely think Creation, 5 out of 5. The cards are very good compared for the lore. So, all right.
Works for me.
That is episode 1 of the Cryptic Archives. We hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye-bye.